Now, Lake TV News. Stories, events, activities, and entertainment information of interest in and around Lake of the Ozarks.
I'm Caitlin Zini, in for Ashley Kyle.
And I'm Bob Spicer.
And this is your Lake News Update, brought to you by Lake TV, Lake Expo, and sponsored by Lloyd Bell Automotive. The 4th of July holiday brought prosperity to the Lake of the Ozarks last week. Several waterfront restaurants and marinas reported a record weekend. Both Jolly Rogers and Coconut said they had the most profitable Saturday they've ever experienced. In all, Lake of the Ozarks benefited from a record number of boaters and visitors that kept the fun safe while contributing greatly to the local economy.
Many lakefront property owners have been affected by the enforcement of the lake's shoreline boundary and the years-long debate about ownership of lakefront real estate. Adverse possession claims have been filed, resulting in legal battles between private landowners and Ameren, Missouri. But the Bank of Versailles recently took a different path for several foreclosed properties. They simply bought the disputed tracts of land from the utility company. Bank President Dave Baumgartner said Ameren's price was not unreasonable, and he said he has learned of others who plan to take similar actions to clear up the title disputes about property around the lake.
Do you measure your internet speeds in megabits or gigabits? That question could soon be important down the lake as Como Electric Cooperative plans to offer 1 gigabit per second internet services operation this fall. For the less tech-savvy, most DSL services deliver less than 1 megabit per second, as a gigabit is 1,000 megabits. If you like to download movies, a typical one might take you 14 hours with the DSL connection. But with Como's gigabit service, you could be doing it in 40 seconds. A Como representative at the co-op believes that this could be the first gigabit internet service in the rural America.
Ahead of July the 4th, business was booming for fireworks vendors around the lake, but high winds just days before the holiday were an unwelcome customer for one local stand. Storms blew through the lake area and employees literally held down a fireworks tent in the Ozark United Methodist Church parking lot in Laurie. After fighting the storm for more than an hour, their strength gave out. The tent came crashing down about 1 a.m. The company reported around $50,000 of damage from lost inventory, but the fireworks were insured and a new tent was up by that afternoon, ready to sell sparklers and rockets again.
The city of Osage Beach has 2 months to decide the fate of Osage Beach Parkway if it hopes to receive any state funding for an extension of the road. Last fall, the Missouri Department of Transportation presented the city with an option to extend the parkway, which now also bears the name Business 54. MoDOT's proposal would have made the city responsible for 1/3 of the project costs, but the money could soon slip away as the department will have a cost share meeting in September to discuss where the available state funds should go. The City Board of Aldermen debated the issue in a special meeting on June 27th. Though no decision was made one way or another, the board decided to pursue funding options and discuss the matter with landowners who would have to sell or donate the land for the right-of-way.
Changes from the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service have given Missouri bird hunters something to be glad about. There'll now be a 16-day early teal season, and the possession limits for most early migratory birds have increased. A state conservation department spokesperson said the changes will not have a negative effect on population numbers. She said the increased limits will likely give hunters birds that would have died from natural causes.
Fishing is good all day at the lake, but when you fish could affect how you fish, according to local Jim Dill. In the evenings and mornings, fish are still moving into shallow waters and can be caught in 8 feet or less. But by 11 a.m., they have moved deeper back into the underwater ledges and points where they've been hanging for several weeks. But as the dog days of summer set in, the fish will soon be diving even deeper in the search for cooler water. Stay with us. After a brief word from our sponsors, we'll preview the events coming to the lake this weekend.
Lloyd Bell Automotive in downtown Eldon has a large selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, with mileage starting as low as 4,700 miles. Stop in today and see why you're always a good deal better at Lloyd Bell in downtown Eldon.
Tuesday morning, the Three Rivers Run begins the Wave Runner ride from Bagnell Dam to St. Louis. The route follows the Osage River to the Missouri River and ends at the mighty Mississippi. The after party will be held at Ameristar Casino in St. Louis.
Also Tuesday evening, the Lake Area Community Orchestra will begin their July concert series in Hope Lutheran Church in Osage Beach. The concert will be free to the public and begins at 7 p.m.
Hot Summer Nights returns to the Strip this Friday from 6 to 11 p.m. with vehicles ranging from hot rods to cruisers. There's never a dull moment for kids and adults alike.
On Saturday, the Laurie Summer Craft Show will be held from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Laurie Terrace Mall. The show will feature quality crafts, jewelry, and gifts.
Friday and Saturday evenings, the Young Museum Players perform at the Camden County Museum. The show begins at 7 p.m. Tickets are just $15 per person.
And last but certainly not least, Friday, a live Pink Floyd tribute will entertain the crowd at H. Toad's. And on Saturday, the action continues as the Guess Who takes the stage. Tickets begin at $20 and are available online through CamdenOnTheLake.com. Doors open at 3 and the concert begins at 7. Here's the rest of the music lineup for this weekend.
I'm Bob Spicer.
And I'm Caitlin Zini. And this has been your Lake News Update brought to you by Lake TV, Lake Expo, and sponsored by Lloyd Bell Automotive.